Home Secretary, some people are warning about a heightened terror threat here in the UK because of what's happening in Syria. For example, ISIS fighters potentially fleeing Syrian camps. Is that something you're monitoring, concerned about?
Well, we discussed at the Calais group here this morning the issues surrounding Syria and really the way in which events are unfolding very fast, and we still don't know how this is going to play out. Clearly, everyone is pleased to see the end of the Assad regime and the huge damage that they have done. But of course, there is still concern about potential groups of extremists within Syria and what the implications will be there. So we'll need to monitor this extremely closely, both from the point of view of our foreign policy, but also from the point of view of security as well.
So just to be clear, there is concern about what this could mean on the ground here in the UK?
Well, the issue is about what the situation is in Syria. So the implications, as we know, in Syria have had implications really across the globe. But this is about currently about what is happening in Syria, where we will continue to monitor closely because we just don't know how events are going to unfold. We've clearly seen the end of the Assad regime. That does mean potential opportunities for the Syrian people, but also potential instability. And of course, there have been extremist groups operating in Syria over very many years. And so what we need to see is how this plays out. We're going to be extremely vigilant throughout and clearly monitoring what happens.
Syrian asylum seekers are a really high proportion of small boat crossings. I think it was the third highest in the year to September. Can you be sure that that number won't go down? It could go up because we don't know what's going to happen in Syria.
Well, clearly, all of the action that we're taking across Europe and with our European partners is about preventing these dangerous boat crossings. No one should be making those dangerous boat crossings. They undermine our border security and put lives at risk. So clearly, we will be working with other European countries to prevent that and to go after the criminal gangs. In addition, we, of course, also need to monitor closely the instability in Syria. Currently, what we've seen is people trying to cross the border from Turkey back into Syria, and so people travelling in that direction. That's also why we have suspended asylum decisions in the UK for Syrian cases, because, of course, people were claiming asylum from the Assad regime, which is no longer there. So that's why it's right, like France and Germany, for us to suspend those asylum decisions. But we also need to closely monitor what is happening in Syria, because there's so much instability. We don't know yet how that will play out or what that will mean.
And we're not going to go any further with those. We've paused decisions. Are we going to go the direction of Austria and potentially deport people back to Syria?
Well, this was an issue we discussed at the Calais group this morning, where Germany, France, Belgium and the Netherlands and ourselves have all paused asylum decisions because people are claiming against the Assad regime. They were claiming asylum from the Assad regime. That is no longer in place. So it would not be appropriate for us to be taking those asylum decisions, but we don't yet know how things are going to play out. We will need new guidance for Syria for making those asylum decisions, but we need to monitor what happens at the moment so that we can make progress going forwards.